Hello everyone, welcome once again. My name is Bahadur Mori and I am an English and SS teacher in Sahajanand English Medium School 8 Nathej, Pune. And this is the part 3 of this video, Standard 8 Subject Social Science, Standard 8 Subject Social Science, Chapter number 1. Chapter number 1, Social Science Standard 8, Arrival of European in India. Arrival of European in India, Part 3. Okay, in the previous part we talked about how the Vasco da Gama and Columbus, what happened, that history we taught about it. How did Vasco da Gama found a new sea route to India, right? And why they need to new sea route to India, find a new sea route to India. This all things we already taught about it. Then after Britisher came to India, right? What how they expand his rule in India, they we already taught. So if you want to recall your mind, so please go to in our previous video, these previous two parts, and listen the two parts and get the information about the previous part, right? So now I have to start from this point, right? So please recall it everything, our all video available in our channel, so please find it and listen again. It's much better. So now I am going to start from this point, Battle of Buxar. Previous we talked about Battle of Plassey, right? Sirajuddaulah Khan and Robert Clive, right? And Mir Jafar, they are three main characters in the Battle of Plassey. Sirajuddaulah Khan, the Nawab of Bay of Bengal, Mir Jafar, and Robert Clive. What happened that war that we all taught about it. Now second war, very important war, Battle of Buxar, right? So without further ado, let's start about the Battle of Buxar. See, Battle of Buxar, as promised, the East India Company appointed Mir Jafar as a Nawab of Bengal. We know that, right? Okay, in the Battle of Plassey, Robert Clive and British Company promised to the Mir Jafar, okay, if you support to us, so we will become you Nawab of Bengal. So, as a promise of company, company appointed Mir Jafar as a Nawab of Bengal. Robert Clive also went back to England. So after that, the issue was happened at Plassey and all that. So Robert Clive sought out it and they went to back England. With the passage of time, after few times, Mir Jafar become hostile toward the British. See, now after few times, Mir Jafar now hostile. Hostile, that means he changed. He changed his mind. He changed his opinion about the Britisher. When he joined to Britisher, that time he supported to Britisher, but after the time he just changed his mind. That is called hostiles. So hostile toward the British, opposite with British. The company decided to replace him with his son-in-law Mir Qasim. See, here is a third name is a Mir Qasim. So now company decided he don't want to continue with the Mir Jafar because Mir Jafar now hostile. He changed his mind. He don't want to continue with the work with the Britisher. So Britisher decided with his son-in-law Mir Qasim, right? So Mir Jafar's son-in-law Mir Qasim, he decided that we will going to make a Bengal Nawab to Mir Qasim. Mir Qasim was an efficient and disciplined and clever ruler. So Mir Qasim was very disciplined, very efficient, very clever and very talented ruler, king. So the problem arose between Nawab and the company on account of non-payment of taxes. So which ultimately brought both the forces face to face with each other. See, after the made Mir Qasim as a Nawab of Bengal. So Mir Qasim is a very smart and talented and very efficient ruler. So he knows that everything, that how can I increase my income, how can I develop my state, my rule. So he has a conflict between Britishers and between Britishers. Okay, about the taxes issue, because British are doing trading at Bengal without paying tax. He got the permission from emperor from Nawab, Mughal Nawab Aurangzeb. He gave to permission to without a tax pay you can do anything. So after that, the tax is issued, which ultimately brought both the force face to face to each other. So now for the tax issue, they both are ready to fight to each other because of tax issue. Tax is the only income at the time that he can running his every part of his army expensive, his daily needs he can fulfill through the taxes. So taxes is the main income at that time. So in 1763, one more importance here, 1763, Mir Qasim was defeated by the company. So in the 1763, Mir Qasim was defeated, he lost, but he escaped. In 1763, Mir Qasim was lost in that war, Baglo war, and who and how he escaped. Escaped, that means he faded away, that means he saved his life. That is called escaped himself, he saved, he just run away from there. He recognized his army along with the force of Nawab of Awadh and Sujauddin and the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam too. See, when he fight with the Britisher, he defeated and he run away, he escaped himself and he reached to, he take a refuge under the, he take refuge in Awadh. Right, Nawab of Awadh, and he also at that time there is a Sirajuddaulah and Mughal Emperor Shah also joined to with Mir Qasim. So they combined force. They made a combined force. Nawab of Awadh, Sirajuddaulah, and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam and Mir Qasim. That is a combined force. So their combined force made the company force at Buxar in 1764. So this is the year that Buxar war happened. So please make underline the combined force. Which are the combined force? Who are the part in the combined force? So who are the part in the combined force? The Sirajuddaulah, Nawab of Awadh, Mughal Emperor Shah Alam and Mir Qasim. These were the combined force. And they met it at Buxar, what is kind of place, in 1764. The British East India Company won the war, and all of a sudden Bengal, Awadh and Lucknow, Awadh is presently Lucknow, and Mughal Empire was under their control. See, after the won this war, Battle of Buxar, East India Company won the war, and he got the more benefit. Like he also under the Awadh and also Mughal Empire was under the control of British. Robert Clive was sent to India to take control of the situation. Again the Robert Clive who sought out the Battle of Plassey, again the Robert Clive sent to India to go and settled out all the situation that is happened after the war of Buxar. So again Robert Clive sent to India and settled down the situation of India that time. That's how the East India Company, trading company, emerged as a political power in the subcontinent of India. So if I ask you how the East India Company, a trading company, emerged yani rise up, grow as a political power in the subcontinent of India. Subcontinent, that means our Indian country, subcontinent of India. So we can say that British won the war. Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. These two war gave the highlight to the British and gave the lots of power to British. And what exactly both two wars that we know, Battle of Plassey, Sirajuddaulah Khan and with the company Robert Clive defeated the Sirajuddaulah Khan. Mir Qasim betrayed to Sirajuddaulah Khan. That's why that happened and they lost the Battle of Buxar. Battle of Plassey. Then after Battle of Buxar happened, as per the promise of British, he appointed as a Nawab of Bengal to Mir Jafar. And Mir Jafar after the hostile himself and he opposed with the British, and British didn't accept this one. So he now want to become a new Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim, right? So the son-in-law of Mir Qasim was also efficient and very talented ruler. So he started to the issue with the British, and British again the opposite team. This conflict happened between Mir Qasim and Britishers. So they started the fighting to each other, and Britishers won that and defeat to Mir Qasim, and Mir Qasim run away from that particular war place. and he just refused to. In Nawab of Awadh, there is a Sirajuddaulah and Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II also there. So they made a combined army and they decided that we have to defeat the British company, and they met in 1764 at Buxar. So that's why that's a Buxar war called. And in the Buxar war, the British company won and this combined army lost. So Plassey Sirajuddaulah Khan with British Robert Clive and Battle of Buxar war happened with between British company and combined army. Got it? British company and combined army. Who were the in the combined army? So Nawab of Awadh, Sirajuddaulah, Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, and Mir Qasim. These are the in the combined army. So defeat the combined army, and so British are want to settle down every situation. So they sent to Robert Clive again into India and told him that please settle down all the situation what happened in India, right? So these are British got the more power because they won the Battle of Buxar, and ultimately Mughal Emperor also under the control of Britishers. So they got the more power and now they emerge in the more and more powerful, right? So these are the happen. You just point out the few things. Mir Jafar, Nawab of Bengal, right? Mir Jafar, and then hostile. Then Mir Qasim also third character, right? And the year the both the force faced with each other 1763. That time Mir Qasim lost it. That is not a Buxar war, but that a taxes issue, and that's why they fight to each other and fought to each other, and they in this year 1763, and Mir Qasim was just defeated by the companies, and Mir Qasim escaped. That means run away from that place, and he refused in Awadh under Awadh, Nawab of Awadh, and there they decide they made a combined army, Emperor Shah Alam, Mughal Emperor Shah Alam, Mir Qasim and Awadh, all that, and also combined army defeated, and British company won, and they decide, and British and they fought war at Buxar, the particular place in 1764. This year you have to memorize, right? And these have the many territories, region under the British, and they got the more power, and these how the British emerged as a political power in the subcontinent of India, right? This how you can make your own answer, right? Now, here is some think about it. Draft headline for the newspaper published from the British and Patna with the reference to the report and printed on the Battle of Plassey and the death of the Sirajuddaulah. So this is your homework. You can make your own, like a draft headline like this way. You suppose you thought that at that time if the newspaper is there, at that time if the newspaper available, right? So what was the headline? Like this way, if the Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar happened today, so on the screen paper headline, the Battle of Plassey happened, like this way, just imaginary, in the 1764 there is a newspaper, and what happened, what was the headline of that day. So you can make yourself headline, right? Here is now your chapter is finished, right? So everything I just want to recall you what happened the start from the here. See, arrival European in India. So few things just you keep in your mind. One, in the ancient time, India had an incomparable position in the world. So every country want to trade with India, right? But after a few times, suddenly what happened? The main trade route center, Constantinople, is in Istanbul. Right here is the Constantinople, Turkey. So that Constantinople conquered by Turkish Muslim Arab traders. That why the route of for a European trader that was closed by Turkish Muslim Arab traders. So European need to find a new sea route to reach India. So many brave sailors tried his best, but many of failed, and few did well, and a few and one of the best seller, Vasco da Gama, who found a new sea route to India. But Christopher Columbus also tried to find a new sea route to India, but he failed, and he suddenly reached to the new place, new land, island, that presently called West Indies, and after the Amerigo Vespucci, they clarified that this is a new land, and it's not a India, it's a new place, and that particular place right now called America, and the Vasco da Gama reached that place, it's a West Indies. That's why they called West Indies. And also one more name is that Bartholomeus, that also found the Cape of Good Hope. Here you can see Cape of Good Hope. The encircle the Cape of Good Hope, and Portuguese reached. Vasco da Gama reached to in Calicut port. He reached to Calicut port through the Cape of Good Hope, encircle the Cape of Good Hope, and reached to Calicut port. And who were the ruling at that time at Calicut port? Jamorin. King Jamorin gave the permission to the Portuguese to trade over here, and Vasco da Gama got the permission from Jamorin, and he started the trading, and he made a fort in the area, and started the journey in the Surat, Mangalore, and other places. Right. This here is about the Christopher Columbus. I told you about Christopher Columbus, and so he also reached in the West Indies and all that. About Vasco da Gama, so on the which date you have to memorize 22 May 1498 Vasco da Gama reached to India. He find a new city to India at Calicut port. There was a king is a Jamorin. Here the courtyard of Jamorin, imaginary courtyard of Jamorin. Here is the Vasco da Gama who got he just placed to with Jamorin, and got the permission for trading. Then after slowly after the time, he just he want to his greedy nature, he want to expand his emperor. So he expand emperor, for he appointed the Albuquerque, one more name Albuquerque. Albuquerque was he made Albuquerque as a for safety guard. He made Albuquerque as a chief commander of his army, and in the year of 1506 they conquered Goa. Albuquerque, one more name Albuquerque, you also memorize. Then after slowly he expanded within 100 years in the more area covered by Portuguese. Then how the Portuguese end of Portuguese rules. Let's we learn some little go through it. In the 17th century, Portuguese want to expand his rule in Bengal. There is a issue with the Nawab of Bengal. Nawab of Bengal complained to the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, and Shah Jahan can't accept it, and they just gave order that destroy his his ship, and burn his ship, and destroy and demolish his Hooghly port. So this how the Portuguese rules comes to end, and the Portuguese only limited area they expense like territory of Diu, Daman and Goa. They just limited area they can rule. So that was 3 area, Diu, Daman and Goa. Then after about the Dutch is a very not much effective in India like Portuguese and like British. So 100 years of the arrival Portuguese, and then after 16th century Dutch like Holland people, they are reached to India, and they make a trading center in the Agra in 1663, that you have to memorize, right? But with the British, against the competition with the British, they can't survive, they can't stand, so they lost this. Then after British interest in India, so after that British emerged the powerful, and then how they want to be, and also British want to trade with India. So East India Company, and they made East India Company in 1600 year. This is your main question, that which year East India Company established. So 1600 CE East India Company established, that time reign of Queen Elizabeth, right? So company established the East India Company in 1600, and as a trading center, as a merchant, like a merchant doing this, they want to increase the wealth and all that. This is the purpose of establishment of East India Company. But the first British ship arrived in India at the port of Surat in the year of 1606. This is important lines. And that captain of William Hawkins, W. Hawkins, that captain of that ship. And Hawkins is the first person who set foot in India, right, from British. And he met Jahangir, but he didn't get the permission. He tried to get permission from Jahangir, but he didn't get permission from Jahangir, right? After that, sometimes Thomas Roy came, and he got the permission from Jahangir. That different matter. So Sir Thomas Roy arrived to India and acquired the permission from the Jahangir, right, in Surat. So they started the trading center and start the trading from Surat. Delhi went to head, and after that Delhi went to hand it the Shah Jahan, right? And Shah Jahan gave to permission to Britishers to carry out trade in Bengal. So to Jahangir first, Sir Thomas Roy got Sir Thomas Roy acquired the permission from Jahangir, and for trading in Surat and all that, for the Surat Jahangir, and for the trading in Bengal. So there is Shah Jahan gave the permission to Britishers, Shah Jahan. So make sure after Jahangir, Mughal rules went into hand of Shah Jahan. So Delhi went into the hands of Shah Jahan. So Shah Jahan gave permission to the Britishers to carry out trade in Bengal. Then about this little bit France, very 1664 they came to India, and then fought between French and British and many forts. So between French and British, France can't survive, and British got more and more power. So somehow Central France retained their control over the trading center Pondicherry, Mahe and Chandrinagar. The French only had control at that time in the Pondicherry, Mahe and Chandrinagar. Then British stayed in Bengal. This is the importance of what happened in the Bengal, that we all know that, right? The Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxars. These all things you have to point out the things, every points clear. So now student, about the exercise, you will write the all question answer in your fair book. Clear? All question answer you will find the answer from the textbook, and write the all question answer in your fair books, and also fill in the blanks. Clear? This is your homework. Now I just explained every question. Why did the European feel the need to discover a new sea route to India? Because Arab traders, Turkey Muslim conquered the Constantinople, the trade center of India, the trading center, to reach to India. They conquered by the Turkish Muslim. So the route was closed by Turkish Muslim, by Arab traders. That's why the European find a new sea route to India. Who were the first and the last European to arrive in India? Very important question. Who were the first and the last European into India?